More than 2 years after this family suffered a painful loss, the court has now provided them with a bittersweet victory.
It is a recognition by the justice system that the perpetrator of these heinous crimes is indeed a murderer and a terrorist.
Tabinda Bukhari lost her 15-year-old granddaughter Yumna and daughter Mediha, Mediha's mother-in-law Talat, and husband Salman. A young boy was also seriously injured. In June 2021, they were all enjoying a Sunday stroll in London, Ontario, when the family was run down by a pickup truck driven full throttle.
Their loss and our pain will always remain palpable.
There were gasps and sobs in the packed courtroom when Nathaniel Veltman was found guilty on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. It took the jurors less than 6 hours of deliberation to make up their minds. The evidence proved overwhelming, including Veltman's own admission to police captured on video.
It was terrorism. I'm not gonna try to get a lighter sentence by saying it was just murder, not terrorism.
Indeed, the Crown prosecuted the case as terrorism, alleging the avowed white nationalist aimed to strike fear among Muslims and inspire more attackers like him.
Today's verdict is a monumental step in the fight against hate and Islamophobia.
Ontario's premier said justice was served, and from the National Council of Canadian Muslims, we are relieved, while refusing to speak the killer's name.
A man who was less than a man. My eyes and my heart are on our London family.
The 12 jurors were not allowed to say publicly whether they agreed the murders amount to terrorism, and Veltman's lawyers insist that potent word has hardly been tested in Canadian courts. How likely are you to appeal?
Well, as I say, it was a long and challenging trial, and there are many live issues here, so we need instructions from our client.
Will you dispute that this was terrorism?
Yes.
Veltman was kept far from the cameras and driven right back into custody. He faces a life sentence and may yet be formally labeled a terrorist.
So, Thomas, tell us about the process to determine whether this is terrorism.
Superior Court Justice Renee Pomerantz is going to review all the evidence presented in court during the sentencing process, and it's going to be up to her and solely her to decide whether she announces in court that she deems that this attack constituted terrorism or not. There are going to be many people waiting and hoping that she says that. In the meantime, the family is asking for that sentencing hearing to be moved from Windsor 2 hours away to London, near the site of the attack where the family is located. And you can imagine those victim impact statements will be very emotional to hear, Ian.
Thomas Dagla outside of the courthouse in Windsor tonight.